Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jordan Still. I'm a guitarist, songwriter, and guitar teacher. And also I do a bunch of gear reviews over here on YouTube. And today we're gonna be checking out what I personally believe to be the best amp in 2024, especially for rock guitar players. I've been lucky enough to play through pretty much any top name amp that's out in the last probably 10, 15, 20 years. You know, Friedman, Soldanos, Marshall, Suhr, Mesa Boogie, and many others. But in my opinion, they all fall short of the amp that we're gonna be looking at today. And the amp we're looking at today is the MGL 2204. MGL stands for Mark's Guitar Loft, and they make a couple different models. He's changing them right now. I haven't played the brand new ones yet. This one in particular is the 2204. So this one inside isn't super heavily modded. It actually is more stock Marshall JMP. There is a boost switch though that kind of adds a mod, but it's not like a super high gain mod like you see in some other models or some other amps. So this is more of a vintage original almost, with just a few subtle upgrades. Now, like I said, Mark does offer some more super high gain modded JMP 2204 style amps. This is not that, but they're also absolutely incredible. And I think his mods are better than any other modded Marshall on the market. Now, a couple cool upgrades he added to this is, of course, there is a boost switch that allows a little bit of gain. I don't know the technicalities of what it's doing in the amp to create this boost, but it is very nice. I use it all the time, and I love how it sounds. The other kind of upgrades or tweaks is he added an effects loop. So if you want to run reverb, delay, or chorus, whatever you want to run the effects loop, it's now got a stock effects loop. You don't have to mod it or anything like that. Then also what I love is he put an on-off switch for the effects loop, so you can have it completely bypassed out of the circuit if you want it, which is actually kind of how I usually run it. The other thing that he added is I believe it's a feedback switch or something like that. I'm not a high-tech amp guy, but it's called the voicing switch, and he's got a modern and a classic. I run it on the classic. The classic's a little bit smoother on the attack, a little bit more squishy, if you will. And then the modern's more percussive, aggressive, still incredible, beautiful. I switched through both of them. They are subtle, but they change how it feels and how it sounds and how it inspires you to play. So it's a big deal, in my opinion. So he added those in there. Other than that, it's just pretty much stock Marshall JMP, all hand wired. He's got some beautiful tubes in there, output transformers. Everything is to the max spec. You can check out his website if you want to learn more. But let's get into it. I think it sounds incredible. Let me know down below what you think of this amp. How does it sound? All right, I want to run you guys through some of my favorite sounds with this amp, just right out the box, right into the front of it. Nothing crazy, but I'm going to be kind of just showing you guys my favorite sound that I've found over the time I've had with this amp. There's many different ways I can tweak to get different sounds if I need it, but this is like my go-to plug-in. This is what I love to play, and I like how it feels and how it sounds and how it reacts to the guitar. So let's just check that out. And as I believe you can see, I have it running just into the Suhr reactive load, and I'm actually using the stock Suhr IR, the setting, the stock setting 1.3 there. One thing I like doing is using, there's a high cut on the Suhr reactive load. I like having that engaged. I find that offers a better sound in my opinion. And hopefully it's coming through the audio for you guys, but it's got a very thick, fat low end. Maybe even fuzzy. Which might be too much sometimes. I like it right there. And there's really this balancing act of the gain knob in the EQ controls, because as you push more gain, especially on this amp, it fuzzes up. It kind of brings everything to life, especially that low end. So maybe I'll lower the bass a little bit. Might roll the bass back from 3 o'clock to like 2 o'clock. See how that kind of reacts there. Yeah, there we go. It's a little tighter. See, still in the neck pit, but you get that very vintage, fat, kind of woofy low end. Which is, depending on the genre, it's I like it. I don't know. I'm a big fan of it. But definitely it's not the most metal, chuggy, kind of tight low end right now. Just roll the volume knob down though and get... Let's go to the neck pickup. Now I could obviously crank up the presence control. The treble as well, they were quite low. Brings a little bit more sparkle, of course, but also a little bit more gain. Yeah, the bridge pickup's a lot hotter now. It's crazy how much you can get out of just a volume knob. You know, this is full on. And then you just roll it down and... I was actually liking it a little brighter, but I rolled them down a little bit. And then also it takes pedals beautifully. So this is the new Phil X PXO on with the boost. It's the boost side. Anyways, after years of, you know, trying out all the different top amps and never kind of fully being sold and happy with them, I'm finally happy with kind of the amp that I've chose. Now, I probably could have went with an original vintage Marshall JMP. Maybe in the future I'll get one of those. I wanted the new reliability of this particular because I know Mark personally. If anything happens, I can reach out to him. And also, it's just a new build in general, so the odds of something happening are very low. Compared to having a vintage Marshall, I have to find a good amp tech to be confident in, and then parts might go in and out, and just kind of have to wheel and deal with that. I love how passionate Mark is, and kind of just finding someone who loves that sound as well, and working with them just seems like such a better option in my opinion. Also, he's got new models he's tweaking to make it stand out, and I really believe that ever since I've got this and played the MGL amps in general, I've played tons of other amps that are similar, modded Marshall kind of stuff, and they're all okay in comparison, but whatever he captured in this is just so incredible. I don't want to talk bad about Friedman amps and stuff like that, but they're good, but something about them is it's not bringing to the table what this brings to the table, in my opinion. The whole entire cohesion of obviously just the sound that you can get, how it reacts, but also how it reacts to the guitar, how it reacts to pedals. There's something I find missing with the different Friedman amps. And I really wanted those for years and years, and thankfully I was able to try them out and be patient, and had an opportunity to try out an MGL, and I was like, this is absolutely it. And every time I go and play a new amp that I have a list of amps, you know, I want to try out, kind of on my list of try out amps. Every time I play them, I'm like, yep, I made the right decision. I made the right decision. I like this amp's cool, but the MGL is just, it's where it's at. It's way better. At least for me personally, I'm a big fan of this amp. And I would love for you guys to check them out. Like it's a weird thing because they're not a big name brand amp, but if you're into this sound, vintage Marshall sound, especially 70s and 80s, I promise there's not an amp better to get on the market. You know, there's big name brand amps that are incredible, but this is better in every way, in my opinion. And unfortunately, I'm not paid to say that, but it's true in my opinion. Like I said, I've tried, probably the closest I've recently tried was a Suhr. The Suhr, I forget what they call it, like the Plexi remake. That's a very, very good amp, very good amp. I would say that's kind of the closest I could find to something as good, but in my opinion, this is a better amp than that amp. For me personally, it might not be for you personally, but for me personally, I just absolutely love and adore this amp, and I'm so happy with it. And I just wanted to make a video sharing that with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think down below of this amp. I highly recommend you check it out, and I'll see you guys back next time.